welcome to the next in our short series of video interviews with our HR Director of Leadership, where I ask what's next post-COVID-19. So joining me today is Joanne Regan-Iles, who is the Executive Director, Human Capital and Talent Acquisition Europe at TTEC. So good afternoon, Jo, and thank you for joining me today. And where are you based today?
So today I'm based at home in Market Harborough.
Right. So welcome, Jo. Jo, just I think it'd be quite useful to give us a little overview of TTEC, your role there and your responsibilities.
Yeah, no problem. So TTEC is a large outsource organisation and consulting organisation. We're headquartered in Denver, Colorado. We've got over 55,000 employees worldwide. I head up the HR function across Europe and the Middle East. So I've got responsibility for the teams in Bulgaria, Athens, Poland, Dublin, Belfast, London, and soon to be Leeds. We're opening a site in Leeds in the coming weeks.
Wow, so very, very global footprint there. Okay.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so let's kick off then with our first COVID-19, and we call this Coming Through the Crisis and Preparing for a Better Future question. So, what are your key present concerns and challenges for your employees and your organisation right now?
So across Europe, we've got a really talented team, and when all this happened, we were really fortunate with our IT teams and our technology, so we could get 99% of all of our employees across Europe safely working at home. So we had a small team in Bulgaria that were working in the office, but everyone else was working at home. So, everyone pulled together, and it's something we're all really, really proud of. The next stage for us now really is working with our clients and working with our site leads across Europe to understand, what that next stage looks like. So people, our productivity is great. The feedback from our employees has been really positive about working from home. So what we're now doing is there's a global project into looking at the next phase and how we actually make sure that all of our sites are safe. Each country is working with government guidelines, etc., on how to get people back safely. Or the other thing we're thinking about is, can we keep some of our employees working at home? Because obviously, with country social and physical distancing, the bricks and mortar that we had previously, we can only have so many employees, as an example, working in that space. So that's really what we're looking at now, as well as dealing with the emotional side of things with our employees as well. Yeah, so I think, we've got the surveys, I think and then we've got lots of different online courses. From a HR point of view, we have lots of HR check-in sessions. So, I encourage all the line managers to speak to me about, how you're feeling and things. So that's a lot of stuff. We've also got an employee assistance program that's offered 24/7 to all of our people. All of our employees have private medical insurance. So, we offer lots of benefits, but from a HR team, we're very visible as a HR team. So we do encourage lots of HR calls and meetings and communications with our team. And, it may be just like a quick a virtual cup of coffee they want with me or something like that, just to talk about how the day's going. And also with May being like mental health month and things like that, we did lots of initiatives around mental health month and joyous June month. So, we're really trying to promote things on social media so people know that, it's okay to say I'm having a really bad day. It's okay to say I need a quick conversation because I'm not feeling great about homeschooling or elderly relatives or anything like that. So that's a type of very much an open door approach in our virtual world.
In our virtual, I know, because there is this whole piece about there's an awful lot of anxious people about even returning to an office scenario or a work scenario.
Yeah, and I'm doing a very large TUPE transfer at the moment. So we're opening up a new site in Leeds, and I'm just doing a big TUPE transfer. So I've done nearly all of that virtually, and now I'm having lots of sessions with people about, they've been at home for a few months, and some of them have been furloughed by the other company, so they're now worried about getting into the city centre in Leeds and things. So there's lots of things that I'm doing at the moment, to try and help people with that, because they are anxious about getting a bus, they're anxious about a car.
So question 2, Jo, how are you preparing the business for a staged return, or basically is it business as usual, and what measures are you implementing to keep everyone safe?
Yeah, so from a TTEC point of view globally, all of our employees remain at home, and I think they'll remain at home for the near future. Behind the scenes, what we're looking at is, how can we, we're looking at each of our different offices, each of the different space and the requirements of that building to see how we can, make sure that we're following all the social distancing guidelines. So when we're, from desks, from chairs, from closing the restaurants and all of that type of thing, the lifts. So we're looking and working at all of that at the moment as we speak. And then one of the things we may consider doing is like having a rota, because we regularly ask people on pulse surveys how they're feeling about working at home. Is there anything we can do? Do they need any support? People are telling us that they do enjoy working at home, but people are also telling us that they miss that interaction with their employees, with their colleagues, sorry. So from a safety point of view, we're working with our global facilities team to make sure that, across Europe, we're getting ready for that point when we can return, but I honestly don't think it will be for the next couple of months.
Okay, so let's move on to question 3. So this one is about the opportunities you're exploring really from the learning from this crisis. So I always talk about a business sort of 1 year, 2 year, 5 year plan, and I guess whether this is changing and how that's going to impact on you, your HR function, and your employees.
Okay, so I think from a HR planning point of view and a business plan, I mean, that the model that we had previously was not dissimilar to a lot of our competitors. So we had, large contact centres across the globe and across Europe, and then we would have all our employees working there. So our new strategy is really around, do we need all of everybody to be working in the office, or can we have a blended approach? So can we have some of our people in the office, but can we also, due to having our really effective technology, can we also keep people working at home? So from a HR point of view then, there comes a different challenge, because all of my teams are based on site. They all have meetings regularly with the employees and the teams on site. So what we've now done is leveraged, again, all of the technology. So the HR teams will be having all of their meetings on Zoom, on Microsoft Meetings as an example. We're very fortunate that we've got, TTEC University. So we've got lots and lots of courses available to all of our teams. We've actually got coronavirus updates as tests and courses that people take, and there's lots of information online. So really at the moment we're planning around that new online world. So from a HR point of view, whether it be their goals, their appraisals, one-to-ones, all the great development opportunities, we're moving all of that online because it's the right thing to do for our people.
Yeah, and I think the technology piece is quite interesting, isn't it? Because it's enabled companies to do. I mean, it'd be interesting what impact this has had on your production or your services, because I guess it's probably very minimal, isn't it? I would have thought.
Very minimal. I mean, we regularly have been sending out pulse surveys to all of our employees. I mean, I get a survey, or everyone in the company gets surveys. And it's interesting because, the productivity remains to be high, the customer satisfaction remains to be high. So, if you look at it strategically, the only difference has been that people aren't in the office, they're working at home, but everybody's working effectively, they're working to their KPIs, they're delivering results for our clients, all working at home. And I think some of the initiatives that we've done, so we encourage people to send pictures in, as an example, with their children, with their pets. So we encourage to see the wider TTEC family and everything we're doing, so people feel part of it. But and people have said that they really enjoy getting the surveys and giving their feedback about what we can do differently. But I think the feedback we've received over the past few months, to be honest with you, has just been amazing from all of our teams, and all the measures that we've put in place to keep them safe and to keep them working.
Okay, and finally, Joe, just give us your personal view about what it's like to be a senior HR leader in these challenging times. So scary, exciting, just how are you feeling about it all?
Yeah, well, great question. So I think, I mean, I've always, worked for great companies that have always seen HR as, strategic leader, which has been brilliant. So I think, from a HR point of view, it's been exciting because I think we've all worked together. We've all been in a situation that we haven't been in the past. So from that point of view, it's been great. And I've been really proud to lead HR teams, and I've been really proud to support the business. But it has also been really scary. I mean, if you think back to February, we as a HR community, we hadn't worked with furlough, or not many of us had. So I think that's been something that we've had to adapt to. And I think back in February, we were all going on about, planning the rest of the year. All the HR plans were aligned, and then all of a sudden it all changed. So for me, it's been exciting. It's been scary, but I also see Q3 and Q4 being really exciting as well, as we work with our CEOs and our MDs to actually, work on our HR plans in our new world. So whether that's with our employees working at home, unfortunately, the size of our teams could be smaller, or they could not. So I think there's a lot of work for HR to do. And I would say anybody thinking of coming into HR, this is an absolutely great time to join, because back in February, we never thought we'd be dealing with this. So I think HR as a function have come out really well supporting the business. And I see that the next few months as being exciting. It's quite unsettling for a lot of people, but I think it's an opportunity for HR to really support the business, and really learn during these different times.
No, absolutely. And I think furlough, what is a made-up word, wasn't it? We didn't even know what it was to a few months ago.
I know. I remember somebody saying to me, furlough, have you heard of it before? Whereas now, everyone's talking about furlough. But I have to say, the furlough scheme was amazing for everyone. But now, from a HR point of view, it's what happens after furlough and how can we.
Yeah, I think that's the point, isn't it? I think a lot of people, I totally agree. Furlough gave us all time to kind of work out what was going to go. So it's been amazing that it's been put in place. And now that, there's going to be some difficult decisions to make, but we'll work our way through it. So, and also the whole thing about this is the unknown. This is all about the unknown. It's not something any of us have ever been through. So HR is playing a critical part in this. Jo, that is terrific. So thank you for your time and your insightful sort of ideas on what you're doing. Join me next time when I talk to another HR director to find out what their challenge is and how they're looking at the opportunities ahead. So thank you.